Hi, I'm Michelle and welcome to Unicorn and Centaur. Today's video is me riding my flighty, one-eyed Arabian horse while wielding a big heavy sword in one hand. Let's go! Okay, first of all, you have to know that I'm working towards a She-Ra cosplay. But there are so many moving parts to it. The wings, the sword, the costume for me, the costume for the horse. I can't do it all in one video. So I guess this is part one of my ultimate She-Ra cosplay video series? What do I call this? I don't know. Today we are introducing the sword to my horse Artax. If you missed the video where I showed off my Excalibur sword, I will link that video right up here and down in the description box below if you want to check it out. The sword was a gift from one of my Patreon supporters and dear friend Rebecca. So since I don't have anyone to sword fight, I'm going to have to put this gift to use in another way. Before I did this, I Googled sword safety on horseback and got very little. I found a couple of videos about what knights did with their swords on horseback, but nothing about modern weapon safety on horseback, really. I thought I'd find some kind of rules or guidelines, like always point your sword down or whatever, but I got nothing. So, heads up, I'm flying blind here. This video could very well have ended in disaster. This is not a tutorial. Do not try this at home. If you are a person who professionally performs swordplay on horseback and you're watching this video and cringing, I know. Leave me a comment down below and get it off your chest. You'll feel better. First, we went into the round pen to introduce the sword with me on the ground. I could show it to him and he could have the time and space to investigate it and learn about it. I was sure the flashing of the light off the metal would be upsetting, but as you can see, the shiny pointy metal thingy was totally boring. Is this nothing? Are you kidding me? Can we just like shoot this? Is this what you're telling me? I'm gonna get on him. So I got on him. We stayed in the round pen for this part, just in case he got squirrely enough he wouldn't have room to bolt or do anything too dramatic. I rode him around for a little bit in the round pen with the sword on his sighted side. If you're new to the channel, hi. Both my horses have just one eye each. They're both one-eyed horses. There's a video, I'll link a video up here if you want more info. Even riding around with the sword waving over his head seemed totally boring to him. The only thing that seemed to be bothering him really was my contact with my hands. Artax normally likes light, springy contact, and I direct rein him, which takes both hands. For the shoot, I obviously couldn't hold one of the reins in my sword hand, so I had to do my best kind of puppeteering him with one hand. Artax does not neck rein and was very confused. I'm also sure the heavy sword on one side was affecting my balance and therefore his balance. He was behaving so well despite the communication confusion that we took him into the arena. I wanted to get some action shots with the sword, and I knew I could definitely ride with it on his blind side for that. We trotted around for a bit, but he was super hollow and really seeking contact. I was hoping for a bit of cantering with the sword raised up in the air, but I tried a test lap without the sword, and he started acting up, so I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't. We're not gonna, maybe, no. So I decided not to try it with weapon in hand. That's also when I realized he was getting tired. Like, not physically, because I'd only been in the saddle like 10-15 minutes, but mentally. He wasn't afraid of the sword at all, but my riding was different. He was affected by my one-handed riding and the weight of the sword in my hand, unbalancing me. And this was wearing him out mentally. It was confusing for him because it's not what we normally do, and he wasn't sure he was being a good boy. Horses really are 1,000-pound toddlers. I decided to quit while we were ahead. I wish I had more dramatic footage for this video, but also, in a way, I kind of am glad I don't. Getting horses used to new things takes more than one session. You cannot cram one long lesson into a horse's tiny walnut brain and expect everything to be perfect. You have to practice in lots of short sessions, short enough so that your horse doesn't lose the will to live. So I'm gonna have to work on some one-handed riding and do a little bit of practice staying balanced with the sword in hand while in the saddle. But short sessions, small steps toward big goals. I'm honestly proud of my horse in this. He did really well. He was confused at times, but he tried really hard. and he was brave around something new. Artax is so funny about what startles him. Like, we'll be out in the woods and he'll think he sees something ahead in the woods and he freaks out and he's like, oh my God, what's that? But then I wave an actual pointy weapon over his head and he's like, whatever. What a weirdo. If I do updates on sword practice, I will probably post those on Instagram, so follow me on Instagram. There's a link in the description box below for that if you want to see updates. The next video in this series will either be making Artax's Swift Wind costume, you know, the chamfron and the breastplate, or making the wings. Let me know in the comments below which one you want to see next. The face and the chest plate or the wings. A special thank you to my Patreon supporters who are literally the best. If you'd like to join the Patreon herd, there is a link in the description box below. There's lots of stuff in the description box below. You really should check that out and make sure you've clicked all the links and checked all the things. I mean, you know. Another very special thank you to Tabitha for coming to my rescue, for helping me, making sure I don't make bad choices. I love you, Tabitha. Thank you so much. And of course, thank you for watching this video all the way to the very end. I hope you have a magical day.